Hey Bayek, it's me Ian, and in today's video we're looking at this. This is Beyond the Darkness from 1979. It is an Italian exploitation horror film. That sounds good, doesn't it? And it has kind of very mixed reviews and feelings about it. It is very interesting when you start to examine the film. You can understand why people enjoy it as well. Yes, it's got both sides to it. Yes, people really do not like this film. And you see it's a load of exploitation rubbish. And then you can see a lot of merit in it. Anyhow, it is 94 minutes long, right? Rotten Tomatoes give it 58%, which I thought was a bit high, actually, for them. I thought it was going to be much worse, because the critics are not very kind to these kind of films. Now, the screenplay is by Ottavio Fabri, and it's based on a story called The Third Eye by Mino Girani and Pier Rigonoli, and this was made into a story from that source by Giacomo Girani. Oh, good answer. Not really. And then that became the screenplay. So there we are. That's the sources. But also, a film in 1966 called The Third Eye is also seen as a remake of this. Yes, this is a remake, it seems. Yes, and that it might be stretching it a bit, but anyhow, that's what they say. Yes, right. Now, it is directed by the one and only Joe D'Amato. Joe D'Amato has such a massive, long career in Italian cinema, but he's known as the king of exploitation in many ways. The films that he did a massive lot of exploitation films, very sort of the erotic stuff and going into other more extreme areas. Sort of more porny sort of things. It's interesting that he made over, I think it was counting about 7 Emmanuel films. Which is interesting. They were very popular in that period. But I'm going to defend it now. There's a film that I like, which is Emmanuel and the Last Cannibals from 1977, with the wonderful Laura Genser. I love her. She plays the Black Emmanuel. She's really good. And she plays a reporter in this. She always did play a reporter in between everything. But it's got genuine horror in this film. It's about cannibals and all that kind of thing going on the back, because it became quite fashionable, isn't it? Fat cannibals. And yeah, he does a good job, I think, with that. He also was quite well received with a film called Absurd. That's from 1981. And also one I have heard of, it was typical of that period, was 11 Days, 11 Nights, 1986. 87. Used to see them in the video rental shops. Yes, I know. It's all there, isn't it? But yes, he's well known as Joe D'Amato for all these kind of films. And this is a horror film that he's doing, exploitation horror film. Anyhow, let's just have a look at the cast. Now, there are a few problems with me going through this cast, I'll tell you. I don't know why, but whether they had a career in acting or whatever, I don't know. But we've got some listed, and there's no follow-up or further information on them. But I'll just name the cast. There's Kieran Carter, who plays Francesco. Francesco is the main actor. Actually, he's good in the role, actually. And then we've got one that did have a bit of information, was Cynthia Monoreal, she plays Anna. She was in quite a famous film, The Beyond, from 1981, which was a Lucio Fulci film. She was in that. And there's got a lot of other listed Italian films and that I've never heard of. No. Then we've got Franca Stoppi playing Iris. We've got Sam Modesto playing Mr. Kyle. And then we've got Mario Pezzin playing the priest. And then Edmond Valini playing the police inspector. And we've got Anna Carindi, who plays the jogging victim, who seems to show a lot of herself in the film, in her scenes. Yes, that's the cast that's mentioned. I really don't know why, because it's quite unusual for that when you're sort of looking and finding out about actors and actresses to find some that have just got no anything further about them. So I don't really know. All I say, there's only that one actress, Cynthia Monoreal, that had any sort of filmography and acting credits. So there we are. But I'd just like to say, on behalf of this cast, I do a good job. I've seen a lot worse. I really have. I've seen some really awful acts, and I say, Kieran Carter, who plays Francesco, he's good. He's creepy as well. You know, he's like an angel, but yeah, he's not an angel. He looks like an angel, I suppose people would say, and he's not. He's a demon. He's far from it. He's an awful person, evil, real evil, mixed up, screwed up person. Yes. Now, what else can I say? Yeah. This was filmed in 2 weeks, and you'll probably think I'm not blooming surprised, but I would say if this was filmed in 2 weeks, they managed to do a lot and get it in the can and produce a really good film for what it is. It is, I think that is helped a lot by the location. They did a lot of location filming in this 2-week period in what is it? South Tyrol. That's in Italy. And in the places of Brixen and Sans-en-Tropheuse. Sorry about that. But the scenes we see some wonderful scenes, a beautiful countryside and mountains and architecture. We see all this within the film. And there is on this disc a look at showing you where all these scenes were filmed. It's really interesting, from the houses to the scenery. We see what bits from the film to what they are now. Excellent it is. And I honestly think you see the colours and everything about the countryside and this little towns and everything. I said the architecture, it comes out so well, and that's all mixed into this film. It just adds something, very much so. As does the important part I want to talk about, the music. And the music is they're so well known, aren't they? We think of Argento, we think of Goblin. Well, Goblin do the soundtrack, and honestly, it's a great soundtrack. And you're watching the film, and again, all these locations and the music really elevate the film. Yes, it really does. Now, I'll just talk about the plot, and then we'll mix that in with the other things I have to say about this film. The film centers on Francesco. He's quite a rich kind of guy, young guy, he's fairly young. And he lives with his wet nurse. If you watch the film, you know what I mean by that. And housekeeper, who is quite strange. She's called Iris. She's very strange. well, we know that in fact she wants to marry him and be his woman, but of course he's got a girlfriend, and his girlfriend is in hospital. We see this at the beginning of the film. He's really obsessed and in love with her. He really obsessed, and Iris, well, she decides that she's going to get rid of her, so she gets a witch involved, and they put a spell. I mean, the normal thing that you do and like you do, and she basically gets rid of her, and well, he's distraught, of course, is Francesco, that this has happened, that she's died like this, and he's so obsessed with her, he goes and steals the body. Yes, he steals the body. What he does, he before the funeral, before she's buried, he injects her with this, like, it's because he's a taxidermist. He's a weirdo. Taxidermist, weird, and it helps with her preservation of her body. So then he goes, after she's been buried, he goes and gets her back and takes her, home with him, as you do, like a body. And of course, this is where things start to develop and unravel in the story. It's all about that. And of course, his obsession and his mental breakdown within all this, and the Iris watching all the time. And of course, this leads to more obsessions, more murders, all connected with his loved one. Oh, yes. All connected with that. And as things just escalate, and that's it. I'm not going to give any away of the film, but let's say this film, if you used to look at it, it's very gory. It's a lot of bloodthirsty. There's a lot of nudity as well in there, mixed in with it, and you've even got a bit of cannibalism. A bit of biting here and there. A bit of human flesh, like you do. Yeah. So we've got all that going on. What is amazing is on these are practical effects. It's got no budget hardly at all. And yet they managed to do all this. Really effective. I've seen people spend loads more on films and not produce the effects that they do. Apparently one good thing they did, they went to butchers and got the scraps and were able to use them, this bloodied mess. And there's just loads of things they must have done that were very inventive, very practical, what they were able to do, and the effects. And it works well. Everything is twisted in this film, yes. But you take it at a certain level, it's very good for what it does. And I think it looks quite good. You can't fault his direction at all. And the cast is good. It's just an enjoyable ride. And I really appreciate, what this has done. And you can see, and I've watched it quite a few times over the years. It's just something that you can just sit and watch. And you know what it is. It's not going to go, he's not trying to dig any deeper, I don't think. If you want to, you probably could dig deeper. I don't think there's any intention to dig anything deeper than just present what there is. That's it. Yes, that's all they're doing. And fair enough, which is good. If you just want this film. As a film, of course, it's had problems with censorship in the US as well. It got changed to Buried Alive. I think it's had certain problems, definitely over the years. But I've got a release of it, and I suspect it will get even more releases. But the one that I've got is really good. Which I'll show you in a minute. I think that's it, really, in terms of discussing the film. And we'll look at this release. This is the one I've got, this Blu-ray. It's a good restoration, excellent restoration. And the music, as I say, is really good. There it is. There's the back. And as I say, it's got these extras on it. And yeah, there it is. Beyond the Darkness. It's the one disc there. I think it's really good. This is 88 films as well. But this is the sort of thing, you never know it could get upgraded. It's so cheap, really. I can't believe it. 2 weeks to film this. But it's good. People spend months on some films and they won't do anything as good as this. I'll tell you. No, I mean, it is good. But don't expect, high art or anything, or even high horror if you want. You just get what you get. But the performances, particularly of Kieran Carter as Francesco, he's excellent. He's really good. He's creepy. You won't want him round. I'll tell you. If he says, "Do you want a bite to eat?" You say, "Yes. Thank you. Goodbye." Anyhow, that's it. I think I've gone on too much, but there it is. Highly recommended. And that's it. Yes. So, if you're new to the channel, please subscribe, and we'll let you know when I produce all these videos. And if you like this, please, it helps the channel, getting it out to more people, hopefully, who see it and think, "Oh, I might try that on, perhaps I won't." But, it helps on with algorithms, as I say. And it all costs note. You can't fairer than that, can you? And if you've got any comments, please put your comments down. I'd love to read your comments. If you've seen this film, I wonder what you think of it. Perhaps you don't think much of it at all. I don't know. Anyhow, that's it. All I gotta say is, I'll see thee again.